oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I
no matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Good morning and welcome to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through this conversation, political talks about specific issues, party system and actor scope and gender positive impact to the society. Top of our stories this morning on the stories that broke during the weekend. First, we'll go to Rivers State. Appeal Court affirms Amehule's speakership, reverses judgment stopping allocation. Still on Rivers State, Ganduje inaugurates a court. On Delta State, PDP accuses Ibori Swenu of invading secretariat with thugs. Still on PDP, party dinner for 2027. On 2027, Kwakwanso Donald Duke meet with Obasanjo. On politics, every city minister not working for APC, Wike's aide says. We're open for advert placements, bookings and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
on this place, economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I thought that we needed to leave of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money.
As always said, there are two types of people: the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From line to and beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
on this place, economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I thought that we needed to leave of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Honorable Kingsley Akumefule. Good morning, Honorable, and welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Laurentia. Good morning, Nigeria.
And how was your weekend?
My weekend was very splendid, full with a lot of enjoyment.
Oh, interesting.
So many enjoyment. It started with the birthday party of our leader.
Oh.
And it culminated into a lot of parties and all that yesterday. In fact, I enjoyed myself.
To do the needful, providing water and some kind of a way out to see how to put the dust on a check. You have to experience part of it by the crack voice that I'm using on air this morning.
And the dry weather is
not helping. The dry weather is not helping. But so, all the same, we give God the glory. And then I also want to use this medium to wish Nigerians and Christians happy celebration in advance. The Yuletide is already here. And everywhere is beginning to bubble. We can see colors are already being displayed by both private and government institutions. The place is being painted, decorations here and there. It's a sign of the ringing bell for the birth of Christ. So we expect that as we move closer to the day, things will get better. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And on to the story. Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has vacated the judgment that barred the Central Bank of Nigeria from releasing monthly statutory allocations to Rivers State. A three-member panel of justices of the appellate court, in a split decision of 2-1, held that the Federal High Court in Abuja lacked the requisite jurisdiction to entertain the suit legal that led to the restraining order. It held that the fact that Federal had a court with the unfettered jurisdiction to hear the case. According to the Justice Hamabaka-led panel, since the subject matter of the legal dispute bordered on the board venue for such matter to be ventilated. However, a member of the panel, Justice Adebukola Banjoko, in her dissenting judgment, affirmed the order of the High Court. The Court of Appeal judgment also ruled that Right Honorable Martin Amehule is the Speaker and has the local standing as the House of Assembly of Rivers State to institute the case against Governor Sim for spending without budget. The judges in their judgment agreed completely with Justice Omotosho and their brother judges in the Court of Appeal that Governor Sim is in gross violation of the Constitution by spending without budget. The judges were unanimous in their decision that 4 members who received the appropriation bill from SIM remain a forum and not the Assembly of Rivers State. The judgment still says SIM cannot spend without a budget and does not have one. Honorable Olaka, what do you make of this story?
All right. It's good to hear from the judiciary. They have been one of the biggest problems we're having in Nigeria. A stitch, they say, when it's saved in time, helps to make corrections. But one problem we're having in the country recently is that the Nigerian judiciary will allow things to get out of hand, get so bad, before they come into a conclusion or giving a verdict. We thank God that we have gotten to this is now making pronouncements, specific pronouncements. The appeal court has said it, and no other person can interpret otherwise, except the Supreme Court if there is an appeal against the appeal court. And so any other person who stays anywhere to interpret differently from what the appeal court has said, I think that will just mean that the person is just trying to, just a discussion which it's against it. And so at this point, particularly on the issue of allocation, I think there are 2 cases we are talking about here now. We're talking now on the issue of allocation being stopped. Without sentiment, it would have been a very big disaster for the Nigerian workers, the labor force, and indeed Rivers people. If you say allocation should be stopped beyond the politicians and how the politicians will fare, but it touches on the welfare of the working masses. And so I think in the wisdom of the judiciary, they had actually hinged that declaration on technical ground or technicalities.
What do you mean by
technicalities? They specifically made mention of jurisdiction, saying that the Federal High Court lacks jurisdiction to entertain that matter. I dare to ask, if this matter had been instituted in the State High Court, would the result at the appeal have sounded differently? Because if you see the judgment, you see that it wasn't talking about the real issues of concerning why allocation should. It was hinged rather on the issue of jurisdiction.
When a matter is before a court,
yes,
and jurisdiction becomes an issue,
yeah,
the court most times does not even bother delving into the because everything, all the ordinance, everything made by that court is still.
We're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing. That what would he have been should this matter, if this matter had been heard at the lower court, as in Rivers State? Would we have gotten something different? Perhaps the court would have been looking at the merit of the matter and not where the matter was presented or where the matter was being discussed, talking about the issues of jurisdiction. So, however, that's why I said the lane judges had looked at the matter in their wisdom, and there wouldn't have been any need to start dragging other issues. So, but to hinge it on the issue of technicality, so as to, reduce or manage the time wasted and resources and all that, and then give opportunity for other issues to be discussed. However, on the issue of speakership, which has been also laid to rest by the appeal court, except there is an appeal towards the Supreme Court, I think the Rivers State government executive arm had to look at what the judgment has said and see how to ensure the assembly is put, in their proper place. Because at the moment, the issue of the the fact there is no House of Assembly in Rivers State at the moment, until this judgment has come. There have been a quagmire, as you know, where the executive is working.
Is this the first appeal court judgment affirming Martin Samir?
We're discussing this one. We're discussing this.
But you still said there is no House of Assembly.
We are discussing this now.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have to put all the cases together at the spots. This is the matter we're discussing. So there is an affirmation at the moment now, in line with in connection with the recent judgment too on allocation. And so we're saying that judgment had been made, allocation cannot be seized. The budget has not been presented, so there's a connection now. The state executive would need to get back to the drawing table,
right,
and deal with the law, the issues of administering the states according to the law.
All right.
That's my take on this.
Now, it becomes a thing of concern, Honorable Laka, like when you said there is no, up until now, that there is no Rivers State House of Assembly. That felt like, I don't know, that was why I asked you, is this the first appeal court judgment? Now, this is not the first appeal court judgment affirming the judgment of Justice Omotosho, and reaffirming that Martin Samir led Rivers State House of Assembly is the authentic Rivers State House of Assembly, and his speakership is not in contention. And, and you're saying up until now. Now, this judgment in the first instance, when you were also saying that the judiciary is part of the problem. Now, this judgment, the first appeal court judgment, upheld the judgment
for a very long time. If you read the judgments that have come from the time this matter had started. Again, I want to say that the Rivers State government is in a very precarious situation. Precarious situation in the sense that it is now known that the governor has not presented a budget ab initio. And so it means that the governor would have to represent the budget of 2024. That is the implication of this judgment. The judgment said that he has not presented a budget. The four persons that presented a budget to him, the judgment called them a group of persons, a forum of friends. And so they were never it. It is not only the labor force, the workers, as it were, that will suffer it. it will affect the economy of the state, because the money that you see that goes around the economy, majority of it comes from the pocket of the civil servants.
This appears to be a very tricky observation you made when you say the judges have not stiffened the economy of the state.
Yes.
Now, the judgment has annulled the judgment of Justice Abdul Malik barring Central Bank from disbursing funds to River State allocation. However, while the judgment ruled, or the appellate court ruled, that River State should receive its allocation, it has also said the governor cannot.
If it is a business or an organization, the governor rolls out their budget. And the budget of an organization, which now includes the state, it is not dependent on the amount of money they have in the now. You understand? But some other areas,
does the AFAC allocation
constitute
the budget?
It constitutes part of the budget.
Isn't that what I have just asked? That
No.
while the appeal court says has annulled the barring of the allocation, it has still gone ahead. On one hand, it's just like the carrot and the stick.
Okay.
Yes, the FAC allocation should be paid to River State. However, the governor cannot spend that FAC allocation because it is not appropriated.
The judgment did not say governor cannot spend the allocation.
Okay, go ahead. What
It didn't say so.
Explain it to me. Can
Because
the governor spend without budget?
the governor has the responsibility to pay civil servants.
Can the governor spend
And
without
part of
budget?
that, hold on, I'm coming. Part of that federal allocation is for the government to also pay civil servants and all that. So when you stop paying civil servants and you don't pay contractors who have spent their own money in doing one or two jobs for the state, you are stifling that economy.
Now let's
And so hold on,
okay, go ahead.
and so the government must, as a matter of fact, pay those who are, when somebody has worked for you, you owe that obligation to pay the person, isn't it? Both the contractors and the civil servants have worked for the government, and so they have the responsibility, whether no matter how they get that money, to pay. And that is the technicality my friend was talking about, that the jurists looked at. If we stop this allocation, even though we have right to stop this
without a budget, while it has approved that FAC allocation should be paid to the state, on one hand, the governor cannot even spend Rivers money without appropriation bill. Do you see the quagmire right now? So the question, why I'm asking you these questions is, I'm looking at what is the way forward at this point? Because now we are looking at the fact that 2024 has come to an end, literally.
Yes.
The budget, the lifespan of the budget has literally come to an end, and we are looking at 2025.
Yes.
And the governor so far has, from body language and his speech, has said it is the Okojumbo faction. Even the commissioner for budget and planning said they will submit the budget to the Okojumbo faction. What is the way forward at this point?
Like when I was talking, I told you that the government of River State, ably led, or maybe the ably may not be there as it is today, by His Excellency Sir Similaya Fobara. I said they are in a precarious situation. Now, the precarious situation involves a lot of issues. First and foremost, the law has said that he has never presented a budget. And so remember, the governor has some right to spend money from the previous budget to a certain extent. Some percentage of the previous budget, the governor has right to expend it in a new year, and it has a timeline. And so the governor has a lot of questions to answer in this matter. And so that's the reason I said he is in a precarious situation. Now, the leadership of Martins Amehule will certainly question all these issues that are happening in the River State government. And so that is the precariosity I am talking about here. So the governor would still go back to present 2024, 2025, pending on the resolutions that the assembly will come up with. The assembly of Martins Amehule is the authentic assembly and have been reaffirmed by this judgment on Friday. And so I think that there are a lot of issues that will happen as we go further. Surrounding the workforce and the economy of Rivers State, we do not want to stiffen the economy. And for that, please release their allocation. That does not sound hooray for the government. I saw some of them jumping up since Friday, posting, Rivers State government. They don't even know the challenges the governor is passing through. The governor is a mess as I talk to you right now. And so, when Akpabio was here on Friday, Akpabio made a statement. He said, there is no how a bird will fly up that the legs will not point to the ground. And he said that when he was a governor, he did everything to make sure that anywhere he goes with his speaker. That if he stays in any function, he doesn't see the speaker. He sent people to go and look for the speaker to know if the speaker is against him, is angry or not. And so the governor...
He can't wait for the judgment. Now, before we move on to the next story, what is the way forward at this point? Honorable Akumefile has said that the governor is in a precarious position.
Well,
he may have the money, but can he spend it?
I agree with my friend partly.
All right.
On the issue of the governor being in a very precarious situation, because at the point of law, you can have your emotions, you can have a feeling, you can have a wish,
but if that is at variance with the law, and then you are merely having a wish, at the moment, the law, as far as the pronouncement of the appeal court is concerned, is very clear. And the issue you mentioned, which is from where I drew my first statement when I said that we cannot really lay hand on an assembly in Rivers State. And that's hinged on the fact that there are plethora of legal cases here and there up to the Supreme Court on the issue of who is a member of the State Assembly and who is not. Like we all know, we can't be discussing that because that's not the subject matter here now. But we are aware that those issues is still running up to the Supreme Court. Defection or no defection. Are you still a member of the Assembly or not? We have Nyesom Wike, we have the current governor, we have Judges Spiff. Look, we have statesmen. They have to come together. Otherwise, Rivers State will be thrown into a very bigger mess in the coming days, because you do not expect that I get an authentication from the higher court or the appeal court that I am legit, and then you on one hand you are doing different, you're acting differently, and you're expecting me to fold my hand. There will be issues, there will be reactions. There will be reactions. So the issue of celebrating the judgment and pronouncement of releasing allocation or not releasing allocation, or insisting that this is my speaker and this is not a speaker, look, it's neither here nor there, but it's going to be at a dead end for Rivers State in no time, if there is no way to come back to the round table and look for a way out. 2024 is already over.
What happens, or the Supreme Court gives judgment before that time?
If
the governor does not present the 2025 budget and 2024 comes to an end and we enter 2025 budget, isn't that another gross misconduct?
That is why I said that the government of Rivers State is in a serious precarious situation. And I don't want to unfold everything that is underneath the precarious situation I just said. There are a lot of issues. Now, first, there is no law that has said you must present your budget 3 months before the end of the year.
There is a constitutional basis to that. Go and do your research.
I'll look at it.
Yes, please.
Because it was Buhari who actually started to present budget earlier before.
There is a constitutional backing to that. In fact, let me even update you.
Okay,
the National Assembly, yes. The National Assembly had called on the president. That was like 3 months ago. Had called on the president asking why the president has not submitted the budget. The president had later said, as of last week, that the budget will be submitted 17th of December.
He has not submitted.
He has not submitted it, but he said he will submit 17th of December, so as against what is obtainable.
If that law is running, is he in contempt of that law?
Ababio, like you just said that the president when he was governor, he was dragging his speaker close. And Ababio, when he was making that statement,
He
also
said
said that the
he
president is making sure he's keeping him close.
Good.
So what do you expect?
Akpabio is not the law. If actually the law had been assented, a speaker or a senior president cannot stop a law. Okay? And so that's why I said the issue is not even that important. What we're talking about is presenting two budgets in 1 year.
Now that there is, hold on. Now that there is crisis,
Yes.
let me still go back to the National Assembly. If Akpabio or the National Assembly and the presidency is at loggerheads, you know they will invoke the full extent of the law. But because probably they are working in tandem, some things they might overlook it. Don't you agree? Don't you think that is in the case of Rivers State, for every single misstep
are going to be looked at? I don't know. But talking about, my friend talked about elders of the state and all that. We have gone beyond. We have gone beyond that stage.
Haven't the elder statesmen, have they not taken sides already?
Politics, like I used to say each time I come here, is political and it's a game of interest.
Okay.
No matter the elders you call them, you can call them by name. Everybody has an interest, and you will always told to where your interest lies.
So you don't see
you
that
understand?
as a way out.
I had thought that this matter would have ended at the time the president wanted to bring in a political solution. Yes, and as at that time, majority of these elders were in that meeting. And so if that could not help this matter, and at the end of the day, the whole matter escalated, everybody went back to court, I think the whole solution now will get to the court. It is only the court that will solve River State matter. That is very interesting. Interesting in the sense that I am a member of the APC.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, a senior member of All Progressives. The whole crisis of Emeka Beke and these have come to an end.
What makes you say?
I say this because party leadership is not a court matter. There have been several judgments from Supreme Court that have said that party is supreme. And so when party takes a decision, and you think any other person can go to court and get whatever judgment, Supreme Court
last time
has affirmed so.
Last time I checked, a court reinstated Emeka Beke as against the APC committee led by Tony Okocha in Rivers State.
And since that court reinstated Emeka Beke, where has he been operating his own chairman of party? I told GRA.
How many secretariats does APC have?
We have one secretariat in Aba Road.
Known to you, yes?
For now. As far as the one that is known by the National Secretariat, that's where the operation...
There is also another secretariat.
National Secretary Abuja identified and acknowledged the one operated by Tony Okocha as the party that they know. So whatever remember when we were fighting with Rotimi Amechi, the faction led by Magnus Abe, and the faction led by Rotimi Amechi, and the National identified Rotimi Amechi's secretariat as the one they see as the one that is working. Whatever we are doing then at the Efo Road, 21 to 23 road, we were just wasting time. Every material, every information, every correspondence, everything goes to Amechi's secretariat. We are just fighting. At the end, where did that fight take us to? It didn't take us to anywhere. Any day, any time, the National Secretariat recognizes any office as the authentic party secretariat. That is where all correspondences, all informations, all activities will be happening. So you can be answering party chairman just yourself and yourself alone. In fact, let me tell you, as it is today, Emeka Beke and his faction are members of the same, what they call it, simplified movement. They don't have a party. What? He's not in PDP. He's not in PDP. He has not joined PDP. He's not in APC because he has left APC. He's just in a movement. That's what he has identified. If the national party chairman, do have two national party chairmen in APC, it's just one. He came to Rivers State and Emeka Beke was not found there as a member of party. Let us even remove who is the leader of the party or party chairman. If he was a member of the All Progressives Congress that is led by His Excellency Umar Ganduje, and he was never found from Friday till Saturday when Ganduje came to Rivers, Emeka Beke was not there. So which party is he piloting? As I think that people should begin to look at leadership, especially party leadership, the way it works, and fix themselves in.
Right.
Okay? As of today, Tony, Chidugam, Okocha, JP, DSSRS is the authentic party chairman of APC.
right.
that have been inaugurated officially on Saturday, and I was there. And so whatever any other person is doing for now, and I mean for now, the person is just wasting his time.
All right, very well. Let's go to the Congress that, you know, where Tony Okocha emerged as the APC chairman, Rivers State.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question, first of all. Do you believe in the law?
The law is sacrosanct.
And the Constitution?
I believe in the law, and I believe completely.
And you believe in the judiciary and the judicial pronouncements?
I have told you here there have been several judicial pronouncements that say party is supreme.
Moving on. Now, there was a court order barring that Congress from happening.
Which order? From the River State High Court?
There was a first court order from Federal High Court, and it was vacated by the appeal court. And then there was a second court order from a River State High Court barring that Congress. And APC went ahead defying court judgments to hold that court order to hold that Congress.
Yes. Can I ask you a question?
No, you can't ask me a question. I am asking you the question.
Okay, now let me
I want you to react.
Let me react to this matter.
Yes.
First, the State High Court is not a court of coordinate jurisdiction with the Supreme Court.
Is it in the
Supreme Court? I've affirmed that party is supreme. That's one. Order as it is today is not anything to go by.
All right, very
because
well.
there was a Supreme Court, there were not even one Supreme Court judgments that have said that party is supreme.
All right,
and the rest of the party have affirmed that this is our own person.
Very well.
And even after that, they made it open. Emeka Bekele should have bought form to run for that election.
Right.
He refused to buy forms. And people bought forms, and Okocha emerged as the winner of that Congress.
I find it very interesting, though, you know, that, you know, politicians, when they come on my show, when it suits them, they will say, when there is a court.
I'm also not a member of PDP. And so, and that was a disaster. By then, I was a member of APC, very active.
What has jurisdiction or not is inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, because one would expect that even if the court does not have jurisdiction, the right thing APC would have done is to vacate that order, appeal that order, like they did appeal the one of Federal High Court, and vacate it and then go ahead with the Congress. You could even choose to appeal it, get it vacated within a window that it will be practically impossible. The only thing that can even stop that Congress at that time could be an ex parte order. But within a window that will be practically impossible to stop the Congress from happening.
Been concluded, haven't gotten to the Supreme Court. And so, and it's even the same process. Coming out to start to say, okay, let us remove this one, when you go to another one. No. We have conducted the primaries. The congresses. If you think it did not follow the process, you go to court. The court will interpret it. Whatever level you want to get to in court, the party is supreme. And the party has conducted their congresses. In fact, for the first time in Nigerian politics, that the national chairman of a party came down to a state to inaugurate the state ESCO.
Right.
He came. And the party chairman, national chairman, is telling you is to build synergy. You understand?
Take over River State.
We are already taking over River State in 2027.
You're already taking over River State in
APC is already taking over River State in 2027.
You speak with so much
already you can see too many crises that the governor is even into. That alone self is even weighing him down. He may not even have, when the politics starts, he may not even have the time to even talk to Rivers people because he won't have the leisure. He has problems. He has not presented 2024 budget. We are already in 2025. So there are a lot of issues. He has even violated the rules and the law. So his impeachment is even just by the corner.
Now, when you look at all that, okay, now, let's even delve into what you have said a little bit, because I like the projections you've made. Because you're speaking so confidently, APC is taking over in 2027, and you appear to not consider the heavyweights in PDP as well, who also have interest.
Who are the heavyweights in PDP? PDP is a shattered umbrella.
Shattered umbrella.
Completely shattered. Their National Assembly members are all running to APC every day. From the House of Rep to the Senate, people are running away. For one of their governors in a few days to come is defecting to APC.
We know it's a season of political alignment and realignment.
Yes.
However, Nigerian politicians are known never to be stable. And people will still continue defecting, probably back to PDP or to APC, even up to 2027.
Let us watch.
So I want to know the indices you have considered that made you so confident that APC is going to take over in 2027.
First, we have a very strong politician as a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria who is a member of the APC. That's first. I said first. Secondly, in Rivers State, there are a lot of forces, political forces, that have synergized, mended fences, and come back to one umbrella, one party. Even the minister of the FCT, who is also a very strong force, but still in PDP, is not working in tandem with his party. And so, as I speak with you, the party is shattered. And even the Bible said that the house that is divided against itself can never stand. So there is no how they have that unity. That unism, that understanding won't be there. And so it already is a finished game.
I like the fact that...
And we are the ones putting the fire on them. They will keep crashing every day. The Labour Party that wanted to form a force, in 18 months, they've lost 18 members in the National Assembly. Are you aware? Which means if you divide this every month, one person, maybe by January, another person will
So now we are sitting to a one-party state.
We are not sitting to one party, but the APC is strong, so we have to have the majority. There will still be other parties, but they will be in shambles. Just few persons.
You're speaking with so much confidence. They will
because I'm a member of APC.
They will be in shambles.
Of course, that's what we want now. If you make them weak, you become more stronger.
If you make them weak,
you become more stronger.
You know, you just indicted.
It's party politics.
But you know what you just did now? By that statement, if you make them weak, if APC makes them weak.
Yeah, we are playing politics.
Now, the fact that there are accusations and fingers pointing at APC, weakening other political parties, by your statement, you've just concretized that those allegations.
Would you want your enemy to be very strong like you?
All right, very honorable Olaka. When he was speaking, I could see you smiling. You appear to be saying so much in your heart. But then let me hear what you have to say, Honorable Olaka, as we move over. Do you see APC taking over Rivers State in 2027?
In terms of governorship or presidency?
Governorship.
Governorship.
Yes. The dynamics are different between the presidential election and governorship election. What do you see playing out in 2027, considering everything that is happening right now?
The distance is still very far. And you know that in politics, the shorter the time, the better to maneuver. Because the time to win election, you don't start winning election too far from when you should win the election. Otherwise, you would have some problem.
Apparently, Honorable Akumefule has won election. APC has won election. I mean, they've won elections
before time. That's a very serious danger looming. You know, we can't stay here and start prophesying how APC is going to win the election in 2027 or take over Rivers State or not. But there are indications visible from these points that we're discussing that APC may not have a platform to contest election even if they are not careful of legal impediments. That's my own projection. And so any political party, now it doesn't end at APC. Any political party in Rivers State and in Nigeria that does not take into cognizance, you know, the caution signs and caution tapes provided by the law to do the right thing at the right time. It may be too late to right your wrongs when it doesn't matter how influential you could be. It doesn't matter the strength of your boast at a particular time. But these judgments or these court pronouncements, should they